Hello everyone, Chuckles here. This sucks, but it's good. It sucks because now I've done 2 days without a proper thing for the whole for the AFM. 2 days now. It's like last time in 2015 I did only the last 3 days. Now it's looking like I'm gonna do only the first 3 days. But like I said, it's good because basically I haven't had time because so many things have happened. You can tell that this is the most tired I've been, which is ironic because the reason I didn't do a video at all yesterday was because I was absolutely exhausted and my throat was raw. It was a little bit raw today too from all the yelling I was doing because we were at the remember I told you about the carousel cocktail on Saturday night, which I needed a ticket for, and so which I got because of my Executive Plus badge, and so I took that and went down there, and I was gonna do a whole thing, right? I was gonna do a whole thing about how this is not my thing, like I'm an introvert, and uh, in general this is not what I do, but it's what I've discovered that I need to do, and I'm fine with doing it, even though it's hard because I'm an introvert. But especially the carousel cocktail, just mingling, and that's it. Just mingling with random people, and just like trying to like, hey, I meet you, hey, I meet you, hey, I meet you. It's like that's not what I do, but I need to do it. I was gonna explain that whole thing, and talk about how I did all of that, and talk about how there was this whole. I was gonna talk about the saga of how one guy suggested, hey, we should have this, and it became this whole thing where everyone at the AFM who uh, makes horror films got together, and I was a part of that too because I'm like, hey, why not? I'll meet someone who's I'm doing a horror parody and it's Japanese, but maybe and then I ended up actually meeting some people who were good with that. I was gonna do this whole it was a whole thing I was gonna do, but throat was raw and it was late and I was tired, so nah. And so I was like, okay, well, today I will say some of that and then rope it into what happened today because, of course, today is the second financial conference, which, again, yay, good stuff. Or was yesterday? No, today was the. Yesterday was also. Oh yeah. I was also going to talk about the pitch conference and how cool that was, seeing people pitch their projects and how that was helpful. And I was much like I did with the French shoot the book. How I went through each French project. I was going to go through each person's pitch and talk about that, and talk about the people I met there. And I was going to talk about the Argentinian actress that I met who introduced me to some people. Um, and I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about the second financial conference and how learning some more, reminding myself what soft money was because I've forgotten completely what it was, and other terms that and I was going to describe how it's like, hey, I'm actually getting better because I'm actually understanding terminology now that I had no idea about when they're talking about financial things. Now, when people are talking about equity and pre-sales and uh, commissions and that kind of thing, I'm starting to actually understand it. It's like I'm learning another language, the language of business. I was going to talk about all that, but no, because uh, so many people ended up scheduling meetings with me. I met with some Australians who are going to go to Japan. They've been there several times. They've never filmed there, but they've been there several times because they love it, and so they wanted to connect with any filmmakers who are over there. And another guy I met through my AFM was scheduled a meeting with me, and I was going to talk to him, but then we found out, or he found out, that I was going to talk to these Australians, and he was like, hey, why don't we all just meet them? And so we did, and I was going to talk about how I was late to that, but they were still there. And I was going to talk about how, and well, I am talking about it, how that guy, not the Australians, like, they're good contacts because they do visual effects work and things like that. So maybe I'll talk to them later. Um, but this guy who was there as well, I think that once this project moves forward, that I'm going to make him my DP, my director of photography, because you're supposed to go with a DP that you trust and that you is really good and that you have a connection with. And I know literally no one who is. I mean, I know some people who could be directors of photography, but how basically I made a judgment call that this guy is legit and would be good to work with. And again, I was going to go into like how I met this guy and well, how we connected. And for several reasons, I think he should be my DP. And so I asked him to do that. Uh, and then, of course, the big news. While I was in the the writer's workshop. Writer's workshop was really cool. A lot of stuff that I already knew. Not to toot my own. I mean, I of course I want to be humble, but no, I'm going to be truthful. A lot of this stuff I already knew, but some of it I did not, and some of it was good refresher course in terms of like the story structure and like how to get inside a character and how to write better characters and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to enjoy. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the writers workshop tomorrow as well. But during the writers workshop, I got an email because I'm paying attention, but I'm also checking my email. And I got an email from Sahara-san. She finally, it's not like I've been like, oh, why is she? No. I understand. But I was just like, oh, I hope she contacts me again while I'm still here. And she did, because she said she was going to get back to me on Monday or Tuesday. She got back to me today. And when I had met with her, when Amanda and I had met with her on the first day, she had said, I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm too tired to go back and check, but when we met with her, she was saying, one of the things she said was, if you want to film in Tokyo, that's very expensive. Filming in Japan is expensive anyway, but Tokyo is Tokyo proper, because Tokyo, the area is a huge place, Tokyo metropolitan area, but Tokyo proper, that's really expensive. So if you want to, especially if you're an indie filmmaker, you want to go to the cheaper areas. And I said, well, I was thinking of Saitama and Chiba and Yamanashi. So, and she was impressed that I knew what these places were. But she said, you should use my hometown, Miyazaki. Yes, Miyazaki, not to be confused with the man who is not named after that place or the place named after him. Just a coincidence. But then, especially when I sent her the visual presentation, again, put together by me and Amanda and Jennifer, and she saw the kappa in that presentation. You will see the kappa later. She said, "Oh, kappa! My hometown is famous for kappa. We have a kappa bone in a museum." And so she was like, "You should come to my hometown, Miyazaki. It's really good." So she said all that, and then asked me, as I said, she asked me to send the script and the visual stuff to see what she could, and so I did. And so she got back to me, and in the email, she said, "Here, check out. This is what I was talking about. Check out this museum. Check out all this legendary kappa stuff that we have." And so I was like, "Okay." And then at the end of that, at the end of all of it, she said, "Can you come tomorrow?" She said, "Can you come tomorrow at 10:30? Can you come back to the Jetro room tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry. I have the production conference." Yeah, right. Sorry, production conference, but I was looking forward to that, but not anymore. I'm going to see Sohara-san again at 10:30 a.m. And I was going to be real excited, because I am real excited, but I was going to, so basically I don't know what exactly she's going to talk to me about, that she wants me to come back for, but this means that she liked what she saw. This means that because I was worried about that, because even though I was confident in my material, and obviously I was confident in the work of Jennifer and Amanda, because they're both amazing, but I was confident in my material, in the script. and yet there's still that gnawing thought in the back of my mind, like, what if this doesn't? I'm trying to make this jive with the Japanese people, and I think I'm being respectful of their culture. But what if this doesn't jive with them? And they're like, I don't know about this. I don't think we're gonna. But no, apparently, she liked what she saw, and she wants me back to talk to me about something. So I don't know what that is, but it could be something monumental. And then the other monumental thing that happened just tonight is that, and I'm very, this, again, I was going to go through the whole saga of this guy, how we've been like missing each other, like trying to set up meetings, and they kept missing each other. And this Indian guy named Rajiv, and how he was saying, hey, maybe we could work together. I've done some work I've done some post production stuff in Japan, and I was like, okay, well, all right. And then how it turns out that when I went and spoke, finally, I was going to go through this whole thing of how we kept missing each other, and even tonight almost did miss each other again, but then managed to meet. And it turns out that he is actually, not only does he do post production in Japan, but he actually knows some Japanese financiers. And when I pitched Yoyaku Yokai to him and showed him the one sheet, the info sheet, he was very impressed, and he said, you know what, I'm going to talk to my investor friends. I'm going to present you, when you go back tonight, you send me that visual presentation, and I'm going to take it to them. So again, I should be way more excited. I should be expressing how excited I am about that. But no, I'm not. I should be going into detail about all. I've now been going for 12 minutes. I should be going for at least an hour again. But no. Because it's been so much that I am exhausted, and when I got back, I have spent the last hour or two compiling the list of every single character in the film, and then sending it on, because I was going to talk about this too, how I met a guy in Nashville. When you remember that video, forget what video it was, but I mean, I know what video it was, but when it was, but you can see it's right there in my YouTube channel, the one with the Overwatch symbol, when I talked about going to that Overwatch screen of that Overwatch fan film, right? How I met a guy there that I have now met here at the AFM. We both came to the AFM. We're both living in Nashville now, but we both came to the AFM, and how he and his associates know casting people. And he was like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "Hey, oh, wow, I can't believe this is so weird. Oh, we met and now we're meeting again. And so what are you doing?" And I told him, and then and again showed the one sheet to him and his two associates, and they were impressed. And he said, "Hey, so you're needing casting? Well, why don't you go through tell us about each and every one of your characters, and tell us who you think would be best for those roles, like what your fantasy of like who you would like to play these roles, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Probably not, but we do know some people." And so therefore I spent the last 2 hours going through thinking about and like studying different actors, like making sure I knew, like, I'm thinking this guy, but let me make sure, yes, that guy, and going through and doing all that and sending that off. That's what I was doing right before I clicked record, and I'm just done. So again, my mannerism right now does not accurately portray how excited I am, because the reason I am this exhausted is because all kinds of things have just been happening, and I wish I could go into detail because it's all kinds of interesting stuff, and I hope I can remember. I took some more notes. I actually used the shoot the book notebook that I was excited to get, because the entertainment partners remember I told you the movie magic people, entertainment partners, they had some stuff, some free stuff. Got the little cheapo flash drive, and then business cards for everyone in entertainment partners, and also some pens. So while I was at the financial conference in the morning, I was like, oh, I'll take out this notebook. I did not bring any pens with me because I was just typing on the computer, right? Did not bring any pens with me, so I just went, hey, look, entertainment. I was like, I wonder if there are any free pens here. Hey, look, entertainment partners. I'll just yoink. And so I had a pen and I took some notes. So what I'm getting at is I hope that I remember enough to tell you, because it's interesting. It's all more interesting information. I'm glad that I was able to do that day 3, that long day 3 video, because that's some really good information that I needed to know, and I'm glad I could get it out to other people. So hopefully I'll remember enough of that when I actually can continue. I think I'm just gonna do a summary. Hopefully, maybe I'll be able to do a video, full-on video for the last day, and then probably in the next vlog, I will do a full-on vlog, and then summarize a lot of the stuff that I could not get to because I'm just too exhausted. So, day 4. And in case any of you didn't see my post on the Afro Pictures Facebook page or on Twitter, brushed past Allison Janney in the Fairmont Hotel. She was just, I don't know if she was staying there or if she looked like she was on her way to somewhere. She looked like she didn't even see me. She was just like walking, but we brushed past each other. It was definitely her. So that was cool. I didn't say anything because I was like, not only do I not want to be that guy, but also she looks like she's in a hurry. So I just enjoyed the fact that I brushed past her in the hotel while I was coming back from the bathroom to go back to the financial. It was either the financial conference or the writers' workshop. So that's it. This was still, and it's funny. This is still a good long. Not a good long, but well, it's about as long, I guess, as the day 2 video, which is much shorter than either of the other 2. And yet, this is only scratching the surface, and it's barely anything because But the good news is, I know based on what I've been saying that I won't need to do a whole lot of editing because I just got through everything I needed to get through, and now I'm gonna go to sleep like right now when it's only midnight. Because I got a meeting with Sahara-san tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And I'm going to see what she says. And Rajiv is going to get back to me sometime this week, hopefully. The casting people are going to get back to me, hopefully, sometime this week. And, and on the last day of AFM, these last couple of days, there are some other people who are connected to the financial and development realm of film that I'm going to talk to. So, possibilities. So, I will do all of that, and we'll see what I can do. We'll see if I can do the actual decent presentation tomorrow. But for now, good night. I'm excited.